Let's be honest, the traditional retirement plan, it's starting to feel like a relic of the past. Work until you're 65, then finally kick back and enjoy your golden years. For many millennials and Gen Z, that dream feels impossible. We're grappling with student loan debt, skyrocketing housing costs, and a job market that seems to change by the day. Saving a significant chunk of our income just to maybe, possibly retire decades down the line? It's a daunting task. But what if there was another way? What if you could achieve financial independence and design a life you love on your own terms much sooner? That's where the FIRE movement comes in. FIRE is about taking control of your finances and your future. It's about building a life where you're not tethered to a 9-to-5 job you might not even like. It's about having the freedom to choose how you spend your time, whether that's pursuing passions, traveling the world, or simply enjoying the peace of mind that comes with financial security. It's about working smarter, not just harder. Ready to break free from the outdated script and write your own story? Let's dive in. Alright, let's break down this whole FIRE thing. Financial independence means having enough money from investments to cover your living expenses, without needing that traditional job. Imagine waking up without the dread of an alarm clock, choosing to work on projects that excite you, or taking that spontaneous trip you've always dreamed of. For many, especially our generation, it's about having the freedom to work on our own terms. Early retirement in the FIRE sense is about choice. It's about designing a life where work is an option, not an obligation. One of the cornerstones of the FIRE movement is the 4% rule. Save up 25 times your annual expenses. Once you hit that magic number, you can theoretically withdraw 4% each year, and your money should last for decades. Reaching that goal by 40 on an average salary requires saving a huge chunk of your income. Remember, this is about an unconventional approach to FIRE. It's about working smarter, boosting your income, and making your money work harder for you. The traditional FIRE playbook doesn't always account for the realities facing millennials and Gen Z. We're swimming against a tide of wage stagnation. In many cities, finding an affordable place to live feels like a competitive sport. Rent eats up a huge chunk of our paychecks, leaving less room for those ambitious savings goals. The traditional save more mantra doesn't always resonate when you're struggling to make rent. Millennials and Gen Z often have different priorities, values, and a different relationship with work itself. We're more likely to prioritize experiences, travel, and pursuing work that aligns with our values. The gig economy, while offering flexibility, often lacks the stability and benefits of traditional jobs. This can make it harder to plan for the future, let alone save for early retirement. We need a new playbook, a FIRE strategy that acknowledges our unique challenges and empowers us to create a life we love. In the world of unconventional FIRE, it's more like it takes valuable skills to generate serious income. Think tech skills, coding, software development, AI, data science, cybersecurity. High-value skills extend beyond tech, digital marketing, sales, UX UI design, specialized content creation, project management. Invest in yourself. Identify skills that align with your interests and have the potential to command high salaries. The more value you can provide, the more you can earn. Your 9-to-5 job doesn't have to be your only source of income. That's where the power of side hustles comes in. Think about building scalable income streams, businesses that have the potential to generate passive or semi-passive income over time. Content creation. Build an audience through blogging, YouTube, podcasting, or social media. The goal is to leverage your skills, creativity, and the power of the internet to build income streams that work for you, even while you sleep. The rise of remote work has created incredible opportunities to earn a high income while living in a lower-cost location. Imagine this. You land a remote job based in a major city, but work from a cozy cabin in the woods or a beach town in Southeast Asia. This strategy, known as geographic arbitrage, allows you to stretch your income much further. Your rent or mortgage payments could be a fraction of what you'd pay in a major city, freeing up more cash flow to invest. For those willing to embrace the digital nomad lifestyle or relocate to a more affordable area, the rewards can be life-changing. Relying solely on a single income stream, even a high-paying one, can be risky. By building multiple income streams, you create a safety net for yourself and reduce your reliance on any one source of income. Think of it like this. Each income stream is like a pillar supporting your financial house. The more pillars you have, the stronger and more resilient your financial foundation becomes. The goal is to create a diversified income portfolio that provides both financial stability and the freedom to design the life you want. Alright, you're crushing it with the income generation. Now, it's time to put that hard-earned cash to work. And no, we're not talking about stashing it under your mattress. We're talking about investing and not just casually dipping your toes in the water. To achieve FIRE by 40, we need to think strategically, aggressively, within reason, and with an eye towards long-term growth. The cornerstone of any solid investment strategy, especially for FIRE, is building a strong foundation. We're aiming to achieve financial independence decades earlier than the traditional retirement plan. While those low-cost index funds are the bedrock of our portfolio, we can strategically allocate a portion of our investments to assets with higher growth potential. Think about it. Technology sector ETFs, emerging market funds, individual growth stocks. The key here is balance. The majority of your portfolio should still be in that diversified, low-cost foundation. By strategically allocating a portion to growth-focused assets, we aim to supercharge our returns and accelerate our journey to FIRE. As unconventional FIRE seekers, we're not afraid to explore alternative investment avenues. Real estate, the classic investment. If you're not ready to become a landlord, real estate investment trusts, REITs, offer a way to invest in real estate through the stock market, cryptocurrencies. While potentially offering high returns, they're also incredibly risky and speculative. Peer-to-peer lending, private equity. These alternative investments can offer higher potential returns but come with higher risk and less regulation. Always prioritize thorough research, understand the risks involved, and consider seeking advice from a qualified financial advisor if needed. Section 4. Risk and Reward. Finding your balance. Here's a universal truth about investing. Risk and reward go hand in hand. Generally, the higher the potential return, the higher the risk involved. Conversely, investments considered safer often come with lower potential returns. Finding the right balance between risk and reward is crucial, and it's a personal decision that depends on several factors. Time horizon. Younger investors like us aiming for FIRE by 40 have a longer time horizon, which means we have more time to recover from potential market downturns. This allows us to take on a bit more risk, knowing that we have time on our side. Risk tolerance. How comfortable are you with the ups and downs of the market? Do stomach-churning drops in your portfolio keep you up at night, or do you view them as buying opportunities? Being honest with yourself about your risk tolerance is essential for making sound investment decisions. Financial goals. Your investment goals should align with your overall financial plan. If you're aggressively pursuing FIRE by 40, you might be comfortable taking on more risk to achieve those goals faster. However, if you have a lower risk tolerance or a longer time horizon, a more conservative approach might be more suitable. Remember, there's no one-size-fits-all approach to investing. The key is to create a diversified portfolio that aligns with your risk tolerance, time horizon, and financial goals. And remember, if you're ever unsure about an investment or need personalized advice, don't hesitate to consult with a qualified financial advisor. Section 1. Mastering your money, the power of tracking. Alright, we've talked about boosting your income and putting your money to work through smart investing. Now, let's tackle the other side of the financial equation: spending. But before you roll your eyes and brace yourself for a lecture on penny pinching, hear us out. This isn't about deprivation, it's about strategic frugality. It's about making conscious choices with your money so you can reach your FIRE goals faster. The first step to gaining control of your spending is deceptively simple: track it. You can't manage what you don't measure, right? Get up close and personal with your spending habits. Every coffee, every online purchase, every streaming subscription. There are tons of tools available to make this process painless. Budgeting apps like Mint, YNAB, You Need a Budget, or Personal Capital can connect to your bank accounts and automatically categorize your transactions. Or if you're more of a spreadsheet whiz, create your own system. The key is to find a method that works for you and stick with it. Once you have a clear picture of where your money is going, you might be surprised by what you discover. Those seemingly insignificant daily expenses can add up over time. The goal isn't to feel guilty about every latte, but to gain awareness and identify areas where you can make adjustments without drastically overhauling your lifestyle. Section 2. Conquering the Big Three: housing, transportation, and food. When it comes to optimizing your spending for FIRE, certain expenses pack a much bigger punch than others. We call these the big three: housing, transportation, and food. These are often the largest chunks of our budgets, and making strategic choices in these areas can free up significant cash flow to invest and fuel your FIRE journey. Let's break it down. Housing. Rent or mortgage payments, the ultimate budget behemoth. But fear not, there are ways to slay this beast. Could you house hack by renting out a spare room or becoming a live-in landlord? Could you live with roommates longer than you initially planned? If you're not tied down to a specific location, could you relocate to a more affordable city or town even temporarily? Remember that geographic arbitrage we talked about? It can apply within your own country too. Transportation. That shiny new car might be calling your name, but resist the siren song of car payments and insurance premiums. If possible, ditch the car and embrace alternative modes of transportation. Public transportation, biking, walking. These options are not only easier on the wallet, but also better for the environment and your health. If you absolutely need a car, consider buying used and paying in cash to avoid those pesky interest charges. Food. Eating out is convenient, we get it. But those restaurant meals and takeout orders can quickly drain your bank account. Embrace the art of cooking at home. Meal prepping on weekends can save you time and money during the week. And hey, cooking can be a fun and rewarding skill to master. When you do eat out, be strategic. Choose restaurants with good value, take advantage of lunch specials, or split a meal with a friend. By tackling these big three expenses strategically, you can free up significant cash flow without feeling deprived. Remember, it's not about living a life of scarcity, it's about making conscious choices that align with your long-term goals. Now let's talk about the rest of your spending. The smaller, everyday expenses that might seem insignificant on their own, but can add up over time. This is where the concept of mindful spending comes in. It's not about obsessing over every penny, it's about being intentional with your purchases. Before you swipe your card or click buy now, pause and ask yourself a few questions. Do I really need this? Be honest with yourself. Is this item a genuine need or just a fleeting want? Will it bring lasting value to your life, or will it end up gathering dust in the back of your closet? Is there a more affordable alternative? Could you buy a used version instead of new? Could you find a similar item at a discount store or online marketplace? A little bit of research can go a long way in saving money. Does this purchase align with my values and goals? This is a big one. If you're working towards FIRE, are you spending money on things that truly matter to you? Or are you mindlessly following societal pressures to keep up with the Joneses? Remember, every dollar you spend is a dollar you could be investing in your future freedom. By practicing mindful spending, you can make sure your money is working as hard for you as you are. Here's a secret about strategic frugality. It's not actually about deprivation. In fact, it can be incredibly liberating. By shifting your mindset from "I can't spend money" to "I choose to spend my money on things that truly matter to me," you unlock a whole new level of financial freedom and fulfillment. Think about it. When you're constantly bombarded with advertising messages telling you to buy more, upgrade your lifestyle, and accumulate more stuff, it's easy to lose sight of what truly brings you joy. Strategic frugality encourages you to hit the pause button on consumerism and rediscover the simple pleasures in life. Maybe you find joy in spending time in nature, exploring your creativity, connecting with loved ones, or pursuing a passion project. These are the things that truly enrich our lives, and they often don't require a lot of money. By aligning your spending with your values, you create a life that's not only financially sustainable, but also deeply fulfilling. Remember, unconventional FIRE isn't about sacrificing your happiness for the sake of retiring early. It's about designing a life you love, one that's both financially secure and aligned with your deepest values. And sometimes that means discovering the joy of less. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground: boosting your income, investing strategically, embracing frugality. Now, let's bring it all together and answer the big question: how much do you actually need to retire by 40? This is where we determine your FIRE number, that magical figure representing your passport to financial freedom. Remember the 4% rule we discussed earlier? It's a great starting point, but we're going to add a layer of personalization, because your FIRE journey is uniquely yours. First, grab your budgeting tools, those spreadsheets or apps you're now best friends with, and calculate your current annual expenses. Be thorough. Include everything from rent or mortgage payments to groceries, utilities, transportation, and entertainment. Next, think about your future expenses. Will they stay the same, increase, or decrease in retirement? Do you plan to travel extensively, start a business? Factor in those projections, and don't forget about healthcare costs, which can be a significant expense, especially as we age. Now let's add some nuance to those calculations. Remember, we're talking about an unconventional approach to FIRE, which means your retirement might look different from the traditional image of sipping lemonade on a beach, though hey, no judgment if that's your dream. Are you planning to pursue part-time work, freelance gigs, or passion projects in retirement? If so, that income can be factored into your calculations, potentially lowering your overall FIRE number. Where you choose to live plays a huge role in your cost of living. Could you retire comfortably in a lower-cost city or country? Factor in those potential savings. It's wise to build in a buffer for unexpected expenses or market downturns. Consider adding a margin of safety to your FIRE number, just in case. Once you've considered these factors, you can refine your FIRE number. There are fantastic online FIRE calculators available that can help you crunch the numbers and explore different scenarios. Remember, this is a dynamic process, and your FIRE number might evolve as your life circumstances and goals change. The most important takeaway? Don't get bogged down in achieving a specific number. Focus on the bigger picture, building a life with financial security, freedom, and the ability to pursue your passions. Your FIRE number is a tool to guide you, not a rigid rule. So there you have it, the unconventional FIRE strategy. It's a path less traveled, one that requires a shift in mindset, a willingness to challenge the status quo, and a healthy dose of hustle. It's not about following a rigid set of rules, but about crafting a personalized plan that aligns with your values, your goals, and your definition of a fulfilling life. Remember that feeling of impossibility you might have felt at the beginning of this journey? The weight of societal expectations, the seemingly insurmountable financial hurdles, those are the very things we're here to dismantle. Retiring by 40, or even simply achieving financial independence earlier than you ever thought possible, is within your reach. It requires dedication, strategic planning, and the courage to forge your own path. But the rewards, the freedom to design your ideal life, to pursue your passions without financial constraints, to wake up each morning with a sense of purpose and autonomy, those rewards are priceless. The truth is, the traditional retirement script work until you're 65, then maybe, just maybe, enjoy a few years of freedom, just doesn't cut it for many of us. We crave more from life, more flexibility, more purpose, more time to spend on the things that truly matter. Unconventional FIRE isn't about escaping work altogether. It's about reclaiming your time, your energy, and your financial well-being so you can live life on your own terms. It's about trading the monotony of a job you might not even like for the freedom to pursue your passions, connect with loved ones, and make a meaningful impact on the world. The journey starts now. Take that first step. Invest in yourself. Build those income streams. Make mindful spending a way of life, and watch as your financial future transforms before your very eyes. The power to create a life you love is within you. Ignite your fire and watch it burn bright.